I've got Jameson and I've got water. That means it's time to cast some Han. I am Bart the Viceroy, and joining me is my brother Zack the Hammer. How you doing today, Zack?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. It's 10:12 on the East Coast here in Atlanta, where I am.
Yeah.
Zack is casting out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and we are here watching a game that I sniped off of Fresh Pro's recently played list. I think this was on the 13th, which was Sunday. Here you see Fresh Pro, Nova, Hani tagged up as MSI, Trixie, and Fly. So a pretty strong lineup there. Missing No Tail, obviously, but I think Hani will do just fine. Versus 4AR and some other guys. It looks like it's going to be, got some high MMRs over there. It's probably going to be a pretty good game. I would imagine that MSI should have a pretty easy going of this, but this is our first shoutcast, so go with something easy with players that we know that are easy to remember. Hope you guys don't mind. I grabbed this replay. So we got the bands going down, it looks like here. We had the Hellborn with the first band, and we will see how they fall out from here.
And they banned Thunderbringer,
Yeah. So
which is,
obviously,
a good idea against MSI. They definitely. Usually would be No Tail, but
well, yeah, they don't have the No Tail, and No Tail tends to play those really strong intellect carries that tend to really get carried away through the mid game, like Bombardier and Thunderbringer. But
he said
and you would,
carried away and carries it. So good. Yeah.
but Hani likes apparently, from what I've seen, plays more of a tends to prefer the Aggies more. So I would expect to see a tri-lane here with Hani, or they could possibly run the Hani
Or
mid. It's hard to tell at this point.
or they could do. They may do Fresh Pro Nova and Fly in the tri lane. The Fresh Pro and Madman or something like that. Hani in mid and Trixie in the solo.
Yeah, or
You
you could see Fly coming out on a strength carry. He plays that pretty well. Yeah,
Mhm.
I do think they will put Trixie in a solo lane with a tri lane though. Looks like pretty standard bands: Thunderbringer, Bubbles, Pharaoh, all very strong heroes. Here goes Hellbringer. Also pretty much what you could probably have called out before we even started this replay. Bubbles and Pharaoh's obviously very good in the team fights, splitting everybody up, keeping everybody together, what have you. Hellbringer, no need to really say anything about Hellbringer. Got the strongest initiation in the early game, bar none.
The only character that can initiate without a port key.
That's what they say.
That is what they say.
Ice is melting nicely here in the glass of Jameson.
Yeah, I forgot to explain that I'm drinking Svedka, my vodka of choice, with a nice frozen water addition.
The ice water is crucial. As Breaky says, you got to stay hydrated, which we will see
Yes.
throughout this.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Chipper,
Banning Chipper.
Chipper is extremely strong. Kind of in the style of character that you would expect to see No Tail play, or I'm sure Fresh Pro and much of MSI, as well as the Hellborn team, can play him very well. Tends to really become an extremely strong factor, very hard to deal with in the middle game, especially if he gets that early Staff of the Master, and will just wreck in the team fights, because that slow has a very ridiculously long duration. And oh wow, look at that! You get an Amphora
There's
ban,
another good
so
one.
that would lead you to believe that's MSI banning that. That would make me think at least that they were going to run something that definitely included a melee hard carry that they wouldn't want to get ganked and going to try to rice in a lane. Would be why
Yeah.
I would think you would ban Amphora outside of she's just a very strong hero, and maybe they know something about someone on the Hellborn team. But
It doesn't look like it. The Just looking at the past games from these guys, I don't see anybody that completely owns with them for anything like that.
yeah, I don't either. I'm going through them as well here. Looks like I want Candy as the support player. Seems to favor Behemoth and Andromeda pretty heavily, and
Mm-hmm.
you do see there's actually a lot of the really strong support is not banned. Heroes like Voodoo Jester and Witch Slayer, Demented Shaman, even Glacius, obviously. The heroes that a lot of times you would see banned, but I
They didn't ban a single agility hero,
wow, that's right. You know, I,
which which I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea with a team like MSI.
That's really the standout there is that no one banned Sandwraith, so you got to imagine that someone's picking Sandwraith here. And you do see Bombardier comes out as the last ban from MSI, so.
Yeah, and they did ban Empath, so we don't get to see her. She's still too new, so and broken.
Yes, yeah. Yes, she is broken. The leash is just a little bit too much. Like if you can't reasonably out hit it with semi carries in the early mid game stages, you got a problem when you have a support player that powerful.
Yeah.
Just got, I think it was who was that was saying it? Henry D was saying he was complaining that she had 3 overpower spells and could go invulnerable, and then continue to use them while she was invulnerable. So you see Myrmidon coming out. Obviously, if he is not banned, he will be a pick. Such strong support. And there you go, Myrmidon and Witch Slayer coming out. You would normally, like I said, those heroes would be
in a tri
lane, and they would normally be banned. So okay, so yep, there's the Sandwraith on the Hellborn team. They start out.
You're right.
They start out with the Slither and go right to a Voodoo Jester and Sandwraith. So you can expect them to pick up another support here. Run a Slither in the long lane, and we'll see what they put mid. And on the Legion side, as MSI continues to pick, I would expect to see a strong solo lane character and either a hard carry or 2 solo lane characters.
That would be fun.
Rampage. Hani is the one that
Rampage mid.
Hani's the one that did destroy the world with Rampage when he first got changed.
Yeah.
Something that sticks in my memory in a very clear color.
I'd like to see. I kind of think they're gonna do. They didn't ban Devour. I wouldn't be surprised if they pick him up right here.
I wouldn't either, especially. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen. I don't think any of the cast here on the Legion side play Devour necessarily. But I would imagine that. Oh, we got the new Soul Reaper skin on Trixie. That'll be cool to see.
That's cool.
So if.
And you were just saying you hadn't seen it in game yet.
I was. Here it is. And I would say Fly would be a good candidate to play the Devourer. Pestilence. Okay. So that's probably going to be going to Fly. I would guess, and they'll pick up a strong mid here to see. They're going to see what the Hellborn team does here with their other solo lane, and I imagine that they will then pick accordingly as I get spammed with people joining games. They will pick their mid accordingly, and I wouldn't be surprised to see. So there's a Soul Stealer, so I would look out for, as you said, that Devourer or something like a Deadwood, or
Pebbles, or
any strong strength mid.
They didn't ban. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean that team is extremely vulnerable, I would say, to a strong strength mid here. Anyone, Deadwood, Devourer, any of them. Pebbles will just eat this team alive.
Yeah, especially, I mean, yeah. And MSI is too smart to not pick a strength hero for mid.
I would think so, yeah. I mean, they might surprise us and put a blacksmith mid or Demented Shaman, but
it's me.
Yeah, it could be him, but I doubt it will be him. You see some banter coming out there.
See, they know they made bad picks too.
This is on an EU server. I'm gonna go ahead and do a ping all, which maybe I can't do if I'm in game. I don't know. I'm a noob. There it is, the Devourer. Yep. And we'll see. I bet that Pestilence is going to Fly. We'll see who ends up on the Devourer. I wonder if he'll play it. No, Fresh Pro on Pestilence.
Yeah, but he does. Yeah, Fresh Pro is a semi.
Fly does play a good Witch Slayer. I've seen him in.
Well, there you go.
No, there it goes back.
They switched back.
Yeah, so we're gonna see a Myrmidon Witch Slayer tri lane with Pestilence with Soul Reaper in the long lane and Devourer at mid, versus a Plague Rider Voodoo Jester Sandwraith tri lane with a Slither solo lane and a Soul Stealer mid. So that's I guess it really comes down to if MSI is going to look to scout out this Sandwraith tri lane and try to go up against it, because they have with their tri lane is much stronger than the Sandwraith tri lane. That's obviously very, very defensive tri lane with the Plague Rider able to keep the creep wave back, put the armor on the Soul Reaper and slow. Voodoo Jester all around a great support. And here we go. So we're looking here. We got the Hellborn going, and it'll be interesting to see what they go for here. We got Hani's playing Devourer here.
Hani took Rot.
Yeah, that obviously is the build you would go, and So it looks like MSI is going to be sending this tri-lane top.
Top.
That's,
So they have Trixie in the...
So it looks like they're trying to counter. Yeah, they're
short
trying to
lane.
counter this sand. They're expecting the sandwich tri-lane to go in the short lane, and they want to counter it.
Oh man, we forgot the auto skip pause.
Oh, we did forget. No, I didn't. I have auto skip pause on.
Oh, I do not. Let's hold on just a second.
Okay, I'm paused at 10:23 on the replay counter.
Never mind. Looks like they're coming back right now. You said 10:23. I'll just go to 10:23.
I'm at 10:26 now. I started going again to make sure I didn't just pause and a pause and think that it was going.
Pause.
I'm at 10:26
right now. I'm at 29.
All right.
So keep going.
I'll pause at 29. Paused. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so it looks like we got the Sandwraith is just sitting up here at the top lane. Not really sure exactly what he's doing. I would imagine he just doesn't want to get ganked in the woods. And they are going to be going top, so it looks like MSI has successfully scouted that. Things going down here about the MSI courier.
How you like that skin?
Oh, I haven't even looked at it. Where is he? Here he is, down here in the woods hiding.
At the bottom.
Oh yeah, I'll have to.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. I only need like 80 more coins, I think. So we got soul. Oh, so wow, it looks like they might even have the Soul Stealer in the long lane. That's an interesting decision if they do end up going with that, and a Slither mid. I don't know if I agree with that.
Oh, you're right. I definitely
I don't know why you wouldn't have the Soul Stealer mid to abuse the bottle play, especially. Yeah, look at that. The Soul Stealer, does have pretty much the same loadout as Slither, which is really saying something on a Soul Stealer to go 2 Duck Boots. I mean, obviously he needs the survivability in the long lane. Looks like we are going to... Now they're just placing wards, no ganks there. So yeah, we are going to see the tri-lane versus tri-lane, obviously what MSI wants here. Looking here at the bottom lane, we got Trixie going up against Tetsuji on Soul Stealer. I would expect Trixie to get very, very out of control in this game. I would not be surprised considering the caliber of player that he is, especially in a solo lane, especially against a Soul Stealer in a long lane with a hero like Soul Reaper that has such a strong auto attack and ability to orb walk and really turn a fight around when you don't expect it. Switching up here to the top lane, we see, looking at the very, very, very early stats, you see that we do have the Sandwraith with no creep kills or denies, and Pestilence has 2, so he is starting out, right already. You see the pace is going to be in that lane, is that you're going to have Pestilence getting most of those creep kills. I imagine that MSI will be able to harass them out of the lane in the early game. Slither versus Devour. This is a good matchup, I think, for the Slither if he can play very carefully, obviously, versus the Devour.